Just took a bath with the babies, so I'm gonna go ahead and sit down here for just a little bit and relax just for a minute. Okay, so here's a here's a thing. I remember back in, so I didn't work for the past 2 years, and then before that I worked for almost 5 years. So one of those 5 years, maybe in the third or the fourth year of it, we're talking about 2013, 2015, 2017, about that time, 2017-ish. Yeah, so we have this training meeting in the capital of this prefecture, and with my company, and then other AOTs, other teachers, get together, and we talk about policies of the company, and they used to give those certificates to those who, I don't know, were well accepted in their schools. I never got any of those, but it was not really what I was seeking, to be honest. I just love my job and love the kids. But anyway, so I remember this one person, he was saying that he was newlywed. He married a Japanese lady. I don't know, he was from probably the States, I don't know. And he was saying how, or Canada, could be Canada. And he was saying how the government makes him, he becomes a spouse of a national. So things change a little bit. Your residence card can be changed every 3 years instead of every year, and you can apply for permanent citizenship. Permanent citizenship gives you a card that you don't need to issue visa to come in here. If you're not from, like, if you're from the States, no problem, they have agreement and waivers and stuff. But if I'm Bulgarian and I don't have that that permanent resident card, every time I leave, and in 3 years that card expires, I have to apply for a visa to come here, whatever. So long story short, the guy was saying, he was complaining, I think, to the others, from what I remember, that he was asked to pay pension, and so this pension thing has become even more and more and more demanding and popular the last few years. And they push people to pay in the pension fund, I'm not sure how much, like 10,000, over 10,000 and per a month, I think, to pay into the pension fund that, can be paid to the seniors right now who are still alive. And then after that, it when you're a senior, it pays off after, I guess, which is really, I will never understand the pension system here in this country. It makes sense when somebody explains to me, but then I cannot really make sense of it. I don't know how to explain. Anyway, so I remember thinking about that. He was complaining, and he was saying to the the supervisors and the head teachers how he has to pay back for like quite a big amount of money to apply for the permanent residency card. And so I just recently renewed mine residency card, and we wanted to try to make it a permanent residence, so I can come in and out unlimited times and no problem with visas and stuff. However, they said that if I want to have a permanent citizenship, permanent residency card, I cannot have citizenship here ever. And I'm not crying for it either. But if I want to have that card that allows you to come here without visas and stuff as a spouse of a national, then I have to pay back up to 1.5 or 2 years back pension. So here's a trick. I've been here for more than 10 years, and they cannot go back that much to ask me to pay. But as of now, what they demand from me is to pay for in the pension fund about 300,000 yen. That's a lot of zeros, I know, but like if you translate it into dollars, it's about like 30 grand. So no, 30 grand. 3,000, I think. About 3,000. It's still a lot of money. And so that's more than one of my salaries. More than that. And so I started asking people around, how it goes, how it works. And then I asked husband to I was just curious. I was like, so if I haven't been working for the past 2 years, I just started working in April again. For the past 2 years, I've been staying home, and I have been taking care of the little ones, the babies, until they turn 2, so they can go to nursery school and I can go back to work. Because to be honest, 5 kids and what we've been given as money to manage this house is ridiculous. But if you ask him, that's a lot of money he's giving me. That's a lot of money. That's enough. We can do it. Well, it turns out inflation is really hitting hard Japan. And so the dollar is skyrocketing right now. And the prices of food and fuel are really, really bad. So this year is going to be tough in the winter. But that's not my point. My point is, for the past 2 years, I haven't been working. I haven't been receiving paycheck. However, the money that he has been giving me to manage through the month with them, he's been putting that money as my paycheck and for his business or whatever. And I remember one time asking him, why are you doing that? Like, it reduces his taxes or something. I don't know. But like, I'm like, why? What is this like? So you're saying you're paying me for, well, you take care of the kids, and I take care of the kids with or without me being paid for it. Like, that's what moms do. I don't feel good when somebody tells me that he is paying me. If you're really paying me, that's nothing to begin with. And second of all, it's just ridiculous and it just mocks the whole thing of being mother, Anyway, so he does it for his purposes, for his business purposes, which is always about family and individuals in the family. That I'm convinced of by far. So that's that. And then I was like, so if I was not capable of working, because I was staying home watching kids and I don't have a paycheck, how do I have to pay pension? Nobody cares about that. That is something every individual over 20 has to take care of it. You're 20 in Japan, you have to pay pension, period. How? Nobody cares. And if you can't, there are some kind of papers you can fill out. So they'll demand it from you later when you actually have a paycheck. So that's that. So that means that if I were not paying any pension for the past 2 years while I was taking care of the kids, that means the spouse is supposed to pay for me. Well, guess what? That's the sad news. So you're marrying somebody, you're going to his country, you're trying to make sense of all their laws and everything. And on top of that, he just started paying, he said, the past 2 years for his own pension. And that covers him. And I am like, I'm your spouse. So how do you think that makes me feel? I'm like, are you being serious right now? So he started like talking about, he just tried to shift the conversation to my company, how they started paying or withholding from the paycheck for pension purposes as well, because it's made like a law now. So they had to do something about it, and they didn't do it before. Like, my company didn't withhold money for pension, and I don't really know how it works, but I remember my supervisor giving me heads up. Like, I was like, so what did I miss the past 2 years? And he was like telling me about the pension thing. So he's like, that is a must now, so we have to do it. And I was like, I understand that. So since April, this pension fund people have been receiving money from me. So they're like, oh, there's a foreigner there, hasn't been paying for the past 2 years back. Started just in April, so there's something for there. We should demand money. So they emailed me, and no email. They mailed me some papers. I totally ignored because I have absolutely no desire to pay anybody any pension funds. And then this yellow envelope came. This envelope comes with the money I have to pay by October 31st. And if I don't, he researched and told me that the next envelope is going to be red, and then they go to court or whatever. So I was like, very interesting. So here comes the I'm not really quite familiar with social system here and how things work. Like the young people basically support the elderly, and then when the young people become elderly, the next young people support the elderly. But then if this country decreases in number of children being born, it sucks for those who work, because more elderly people and less young people to pay for. So it just doesn't, it's not like really created to be, it's designed to be perfect, but in a country where family status is perfect and then they have lots of kids, but they don't. And nobody I think in Europe is the same thing situation. But what really made me, it's like so much, it makes it so much easier for me to leave. It's just like another reason I'm like, how it's about everything about money, everything about policies and things in this country. I'm always kept into this unknown fog where I just get a little bit of information. I'm given just about a little bit of information, and like in a very casual way. Nobody actually sits me down and talks to me about it. And money decisions, business decisions, pension, if it hits him personally, and they start withholding his income or whatever, then he will do something about it. But if it's just me, who cares? So I'm seriously thinking, like, the next person, whoever marries him, I'm just gonna tell her straight, make sure he pays your pension. Okay, make sure he pays your pension, and that will be it. Because I'm just standing amazed right now. And how bold, and how we have this word in Bulgarian, nago is a person like beyond bold. That is like a person who self-centered is, it's just a little tiny teeny cover to begin to explain what a person can be. And it's just amazing to me how people can be so cheap and so disregarding others, and here you are with 5 children in that sort of situation, and it's just amazing to me. I'm like speechless, and trying to shift it towards my company, how my company is that my company is doing what they have to do according to laws. Don't shift the conversation towards the company. Shift the conversation to the last 2 years of my life being here, and being not illegal, but like supposed to be paying some governmental blah blah blah. And I'll just leave it here because I have no more words to say.